Welcome back to another rebuild I have for you guys here today on Madden 20. Today it's going to be another realistic rebuild, this time of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But before I really begin this video, as always, if you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel and if you're looking forward to some more Madden 20 content down the line, including some more rebuilds, realistic and fantasy, and a couple franchise modes, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. I would love to have you guys back for my next upload. And if you enjoyed this video in particular, I would appreciate it if you could leave a like down below. They help me out so much in the end. But now, let's start talking about this team, starting here with Jameis Winston. Honestly, one of the weirdest players we have ever seen. Just genuinely. I don't think there's any in-between with him. He's either amazing or awful. It is insane how, inconsistent he is. But he's consistently very inconsistent, if that makes any sense at all. He goes from looking like one of the best passers in the NFL to one of the absolute worst. And it's so quick. It could be like between 3 different throws. I don't even know, man. Jameis Winston has so much potential, I think, though. Just the upside that he shows, the throws he can make. I think he has a ton of upside. I don't know what's wrong, though. His decision-making maybe is lacking. He throws a ton of interceptions. It's really weird. It's really weird how he plays the game, but maybe one day he can, mitigate his turnovers and really be a great NFL quarterback. I definitely think he's capable of it if he can limit his turnovers. That's a big if. I don't think we're going to keep him on the team here. I think it would be a more fun rebuild if we do get rid of him. A lot of people are speculating if the Buccaneers are even going to keep him in real life. Of course, this is a realistic rebuild, but I'm really not trying to mimic what I think exactly is going to happen in real life because that's really difficult to predict. But, Jameis Winston may not be back on the team this year, and I think I'm going to let him walk in free agency. I had a fantasy rebuild using him the entire time, I think, earlier in Madden 20 season, and he actually did pretty well. But this time, we will be switching quarterbacks, probably draft one this upcoming season. We should have a pick to do so, and I think we can make a pretty fun rebuild that way. But we definitely need a new running back as well. Ronald Jones, Peyton Barber, they're both only 76 overalls. No disrespect to them IRL or anything like that. But in the game, a 76 is not good. It's difficult to use a 76 overall running back in Madden. They typically do not play well. But we do have arguably the best wide receiver duo in the NFL right now. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, both dominant receivers. Evans is an X Factor. Chris Godwin probably on his way to being an X Factor. Out of Penn State. Love me some Chris Godwin. He is so good. And then Mike Evans, of course, dominant receiver. He is disgusting. He's been insane since he's been in the NFL. His sleeves look awesome. I love the tattoos he has. They look so nice. I think this wide receiver core is going to be amazing this entire time. Even Brashad Perriman actually has been stepping up recently. He's not a bad receiver either. A ton of speed, of course. Pretty good spectacular catch. Also, he's pretty tall, 6'2". I think we can work with these wide receivers. And if we do need a number 3 at some point down the line, let's say we don't retain Brashad Perriman at some point, it shouldn't be that difficult to replace him because these top 2 guys are so good. They are going to be getting the majority of the targets anyway. On the offensive line, Ali Marpet, the best offensive lineman right here, 88 overall. DeMar Dodson's not too bad. Ryan Jensen's pretty good. Donovan Smith is not very good. He's only a 70 overall. He lets up a ton of sacks in simulation, and then Alex Kappa is only a 67 overall. We're going to have to look to replace those guys. Also, DeMar Dodson will probably regress into oblivion soon. Ryan Jensen is definitely getting there. He's 28 years old. Should be okay for 1 or 2 more seasons with us. And then at tight end, they have a very good tight end duo. O.J. Howard at Cameron Brate. O.J. Howard does not get targeted much in real life. Maybe there's a reason for that. I don't know. I always thought he was a sweet player. I know he's had... I think he's had a couple drops this year. I remember the one interception that he dropped. The ball ended up behind his back and then perfectly. And I think it was in the arms of Demario Davis or something to pick it off for the Saints. But O.J. Howard has shown a ton of potential. I think he can be a really good tight end. Hopefully we can try to utilize him here in Madden. Also, let me point this out. There may be starters who are not in right now because I'm using the current rosters. And I think they have players sitting if they're injured in real life. There's one more week in the season. I'm just going to simulate with the as-is roster. But then on defense, we have some pretty cool rookies on this side of the ball. At least we have Devin White, Sean Murphy bunting down there. I think Mike Edwards is also a rookie. Yeah, out of Kentucky. Okay. But Devin White is the best out of all these guys, at least because he has hidden development trait. I'm pretty sure I know what this is. And if you've seen other rebuilds and even other rebuilds of mine, you may even know what this is. But he is ridiculous, man. 92 speed, 87 pursuit. I saw him return a fumble today, and he looked way faster than 92 speed. He was absolutely flying Devin White is a fast linebacker. Lavonte David, the starting middle linebacker on this team, though, he may be the best defensive player on this team. I think he is overall wise. He's an 89, which is the best, the second best being Ndamukong Suh down there. But Lavonte David's a beast, man. He's a great middle linebacker. I think he played a lot of outside linebacker, right, in his career back when they had a 4-3, but they did switch up the defense. Now they run a 3-4. But Lavonte David is definitely a beast. Shaq Barrett has a ton of sacks this year. Dude's also a beast. Was kind of buried in the depth chart there on the Broncos for a little while. Finally has, you know, his shot to start, and he's also, I think, on a contract here, right? He's going to get paid in the offseason. In real life, of course. And here, he's definitely going to get paid for us as well. 19.5 quarterback sacks. Unbelievable. But yeah, we definitely want to retain him. We certainly want to do that. His contract is up after this season. We will be bringing back Shaq Barrett. I think he's too good to not bring back. Hopefully he can replicate these. Hopefully he can replicate this season for us in these next few years. And then JPP is the other outside linebacker. Nothing too special with him anymore. 80 overall, of course, was dominant. Getting up there in age now, though. We do have Anthony Nelson, who's a pass rusher out of Iowa. He's a rookie. I don't really think he has much of a shot to start on this team. I think we'll try to just get a different outside linebacker other than JPP at some point. Carl Nassib's also not horrible, I guess. Then we have Jordan Whitehead here starting at strong safety. 1 year of experience out of Pittsburgh. Definitely need to address these safeties at some point. Hopefully we can do that in the offseason and the draft and whatnot. And then Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy, Bunting, and Jamel Dean are the corners. But Carlton Davis, I feel like, is a bit underrated. He's had some good stats this past year. I think he has a lot of pass breakups and stuff like that. He's just a pretty good cornerback. I mean, I like him being the number 1. Hopefully he can go up in development for us, being a 76. I feel like he should have star at this point. And then Sean Murphy Bunting, I know he had hidden at one point. I guess they revoked that from him, though, because now he's only down to normal. And then Jamel Dean can fly. He's a very fast cornerback, 24 years old, 93 speed. Pretty old for a rookie, but I think this cornerback core can be perfectly fine for us this entire time. I may look to draft one in the future and maybe sign a corner if we really need one. I hope these guys can develop, though. That would be really cool if they can. And then Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, and William Golston are the defensive linemen. Vita Vea is a stud, too. He's an 84 overall. I think he scored at least 1 touchdown this year, which is awesome to see. Of course, Ndamukong Suh, William Golston, both not too bad. Suh, definitely better, 86 compared to a 73. But that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have a pretty solid roster, to be honest. Like, I think if we get a quarterback who can limit interceptions, I think this team can do very well. If Jameis Winston can do that for them, they will definitely be a playoff caliber team. I think they have the talent around him for it. But let's simulate this season, or let's simulate this week. I forced all the wins that I know so far. I'm recording this in the middle of the Seahawks game, I think. So I forced all the wins. I think that happened. But let's see you know, how we shape up at the end of the year. So obviously the team did not make the playoffs here at the end of this season. We finished 7-9 with the Falcons. The Panthers were 5-11, and the Saints up there 13-3. I will briefly go over these stats. Jameis Winston over 5,000 yards. I think his interception numbers are different in real life, right? Because didn't he do 30 for 30, like 30 touchdowns, 30 picks? But 5,100 yards, that's insane. He's probably going to be in the MVP running just because of his yardage numbers. That's just kind of how this game works. Not much of a running game here, you know, 675 yards, I guess isn't awful for Ronald Jones with only 175 handoffs, right? We kind of got to get those handoffs up a little more. He did average 4 yards per carry, which really isn't that bad. 6 touchdowns for him, 7 for Peyton Barber. I don't really know if we can keep Ronald Jones as a starting running back for this team. I think if we draft a quarterback, I kind of want to get the best possible offense around him just to, you know, increase the success and increase the probability of him winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. But Chris Godwin leads the team in catches and receiving yards and touchdowns. Mike Evans not too far behind in receiving yards, though, and touchdowns, only 1 fewer. Rashad Perriman gets 5, O.J. Howard gets 1, and Cameron Brate down there gets 3. Blocking numbers look really funny after you know, load in the actual rosters and whatnot, so it's only saying that there's 2 sacks lit up, whatever. 123 tackles here for Lavonte David. We have 1 tackle for loss for 4 different players. That doesn't seem right either. And then Shaq Barrett, 19.5 sacks. Ridiculous. 2 interceptions for Jamel Dean. 1 for a whole lot of players down there. Do we have any defensive touchdowns? I think we should have at least 1, right? Didn't Ndamukong Suh return a fumble for a touchdown, or was that not a touchdown? I feel like I remember Shaq Barrett stripping someone. I forgot who it was, but I'm pretty sure Ndamukong Suh got a touchdown out of that. I don't know. No butt kicks, no safeties, no touchdowns. Maybe those just don't transfer over or something. Forced fumbles, 6 for Shaq Barrett. That's also ridiculous. 3 for Devin White and Lavonte David. Shaq Barrett's something else, man. It's cool to have him on this team. Maybe he even went up to X Factor. That would actually be awesome. But we were 3rd on offense. That should be 1st maybe next year if we can get a good running game. It's also contingent on whether or not the quarterback plays just as well as Jameis Winston in terms of yards, at least. But Jameis Winston at number 6 for MVP, kind of told you he'd be up there. NFC Offensive Player of the Year is Christian McCaffrey. Jameis Winston at number 7. Defensive Player of the Year is Chandler Jones, but Shaq Barrett at number 2. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Kyler Murray. Nobody from the Buccaneers. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Nick Bosa, but Devin White at number 2. Would have been really cool if Devin White could have won that award, but it is okay. I will be simulating now to the playoffs. You have to make sure I import the draft class because I didn't get a chance yet. I think I just said I was going to be simulating into the playoffs. I meant to say simulating into the Super Bowl. The Seahawks and the Bills are in the Super Bowl. Very interesting. But let me download, or actually import the local file. Sorry about that. I've been getting a lot of questions about who made the draft class I use for 2020. And it's by this guy. It's like Papa Crunk 21, I think the gamer tag is. I made a ton of changes to it. I may go ahead and just upload this file at some point and see if you guys would like to download that one, because I remember a few changes I made specifically. So Jeffrey Okudah was not in this class. I had to move him over. KJ Hamler also was not in this class. I moved him over. I still have to change Laviska Shenault's college. I'm pretty sure he goes to Colorado, doesn't he? I'll probably change that at some point. Not the biggest deal if the colleges aren't super accurate. I know a couple other names were spelled wrong, like Anthony Jennings I think was spelled incorrectly. I think I had to change that one. And another one, it was Tyler Bayadash I think was spelled incorrectly. But yeah, so I made a couple changes to, the draft class. I can possibly upload this one at some points. If I ever do, I will definitely let you guys know, but I'm just kind of lazy. If I get around to it, though, of course, I will let everybody know. We are going to simulate here through the Super Bowl, the Seahawks and the Bills, and the Seahawks are going to win 38-31. That would be a pretty cool Super Bowl. I'd be down for that one. But Shaq Barrett definitely needs to come back to the team. And Ndamukong Suh, I'm going to let go. Jameis Winston, like I alluded to earlier, I am going to let go. If Buccaneers fans really like Jameis Winston and want me to keep him, I am sorry, but I did so in a previous rebuild. Just now, I think it's going to be more interesting if we move on from him and draft another quarterback. I don't really think I want anybody else down here. I really don't. I mean, DeMar Dotson wouldn't be bad for one more year. He's down to a 73, and it is difficult to find tackles in the draft in the offseason and stuff, so I may keep him for another season. Brashad Perriman also is not too bad, but I think I can replace him pretty easily. But Shaq Barrett's the only one I for sure want, and we do have a lot of money, actually, so I can bring him in pretty comfortably, give him a 6-year contract. He is coming back to the team. I think I will bring back DeMar Dotson for 1 season. I don't mind doing that. It's not that big of a contract for 1 year. He's going to test out free agency. I really don't want to franchise tag him. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. Alright, so let's advance the week now. Go into free agency. And hopefully we can find a tackle, because I'm going to need a tackle. $79.54 million. The top free agent, of course, is Chris Jones. I'm not going after Chris Jones. Kareem Hunt could be a player I go after, though. Kareem Hunt is very good. And we do need another running back who will help this team out in the long run. Austin Eckler's also here. He's good. Jordan Howard isn't too bad. I haven't gone after Kareem Hunt in a little while. And I think it kind of makes sense for the Buccaneers to do this. They need another running back. And Kareem Hunt may not get signed by the Browns. Almost said Broncos. I'm gonna give him a pretty small deal compared to what it was before. 78 total points. I'm okay with that. And then I know I mentioned that I don't really need a cornerback, but Kendall Fuller could be a guy I go after. I went after a lot of players actually, and I think if they all accept, the team will look a lot better. We got Kendall Fuller. I did not give him many points at all. It was like 50. We got Clinton Dix. We got Anthony Costanzo, and we got Kareem Hunt. Okay. We got a lot of the players I went after. That may be all of them. Oh, it's not. I can remember one other player I went after who we did not yet get. But Chris Godwin is up to X Factor, which is phenomenal to see. Let me generate the best lineup now in case anybody is hiding down here, who I forgot to mention. But yeah, Chris Godwin up to X Factor. That is phenomenal. Devin White has Superstar, if you did not know that one. Shaq Barrett still on the team here. Of course, one more experience point for him, though. The cornerback core is looking quite nice now. And we may need another safety. I don't think I'm going to need one, though. I kind of like Mike Edwards up here. He still has room to grow, only 24 years old. I think I may try to keep him for another season. We are not the top team on Danny Shelton anymore. Alright, so maybe we go after a guy like Javon Hargrave or something then. I thought I could get Danny Shelton for really cheap. That's why I went after him. I decided to go after someone else, actually, and we got him. We got Malik Collins. Okay. That's a pretty good player to get. We didn't really spend that much money on him, and he's 25 years old. I am comfortable with that. Who has a 5th-year option, though? O.J. Howard. I'm not sure if I want to give O.J. Howard his 5th-year option. I think I could just bring him back pretty easily. I'm just going to let him go. Okay, I'm not going to, grant his 5th-year option. He's only an 81 at this point. It usually says there, like, if you think he's one of the best players at his position, you should bring him back. But yeah, maybe in real life he could develop really well, but right now he's only an 81. He's definitely not, like, one of the best tight ends in the game. So I'm going to send him to the draft here. Of course, I have my scout doing all the dirty work. I usually turn auto scouting on because, like, I kind of know what this class is all about. I don't really need to do much scouting. But let's see when we draft. We pick at number 13. And the Bengals are up first. Do they go Joe Burrow? They actually go Andrew Thomas. I've seen them do that a lot lately. This is probably when Chase Young goes. He does go 81 overall for him. Of course, like the best player in the class. Everybody thinks he's going to go like top 3 at least. And then the Lions maybe go wide receiver here. No, they go Grant Delpit. That would have been a sweet pick for us, but it's okay. We actually just picked up Clinton Dix in free agency. Not that big of a deal then. The Giants are going to go with A.J. Epineza, and the Panthers, rounding out the top 5, going with Jerry Jeudy. Okay, well now, let's go to pick 13 to see who is still available. Tyler Byadash just went to the Jets. That would have been a pretty cool pick. Do we go quarterback here? I think we should go quarterback since we no longer have Jameis Winston. So let's see who is available. So it's Tua or Joe Burrow. I think I'm going to go Tua here instead of Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is a better quarterback in this class. But a lot of people think he's going number 1 overall. So the realism of him falling to 13 isn't really there. But Tua, I could totally see this happening to. People are concerned with his injuries. Left-handed quarterbacks, normally they're pretty rare. I mean, I guess it's some kind of difference in the spin when they throw the football. It's like the other way, They have to flip all the plays and stuff like that. I think we're going to go Tua and see if he can replace Jameis Winston for us. So Tua Tagovailoa, welcome to the team. He's a 73 overall hidden development trait. You guys may be looking at that saying that's a bad draft pick. He's a really low overall, but you also have to consider the overall difference in the game. A 73 overall rookie quarterback is really not bad considering what Kyler Murray was when he was first imported into the game. Daniel Jones was like a 60-something. Dwayne Haskins, same thing. They were both first-round draft picks. So a 73 for Tua is not bad at all. Hidden development trait, though. I think he is going to be very good for us. Now let's simulate to the second round. I'm not even really sure what I'm looking at here then. Let's see who is still available. Maybe an offensive lineman. We can definitely use one of those. There's also some wide receivers still available, and they're all very good looking, man. We have Henry Ruggs, KJ Hamler, Jalen Reagor is very good as well. Okay, we could go with one of those guys, but I would be very inclined to start them then, but I'm not going to. I think I am going to go wide receiver just to be the number 3, and it's going to be Henry Ruggs. 73 overall hidden development for this player, ranked number 22 in the class, adds some speed that we lost by losing Brashad Perriman. Of course, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, not the fastest receivers, but that's not what they're, supposed to be on this team. That's not what they're very good at, of course. 96 speed, though, for Henry Ruggs. Gives us a deep threat for Tua Tagovailoa. I'm so excited we have Tua. It's going to be awesome using him. I don't think I've used him yet in a realistic rebuild. So, obviously, with injuries off, he should just light the league up. I hope that happens. But now, in the third round, who do we go with? So we could go with a running back here. I don't think I'm going to, though, but, it's a possibility. I don't really think I need a tight end. I could go with one of those guys. I think I'm going to go offensive lineman here. I think it's time. I didn't scout any of these guys, so I really don't know who's the best. What do we need, though? We do need a guard. Navon Donaldson looks pretty good. He's very strong. I don't know what development this guy has. I don't really know anything about him, but I'm going to be drafting him. 68 overall with hidden development is really not bad. I hope I haven't drafted him in the past. I really don't remember doing so. If I did, I'm sorry. This guy cannot block for anything, though. My lord. He's extremely strong and fairly aware, but his blocking stats are awful. I think we're still going to start him, though, just to give him as much exposure as possible, just to see if he can maybe develop into something. After that pick, we got another wide receiver, Tylan Wallace, 71 overall. Normal development, really not a bad player at all. And then a 64 and a 65. We drafted another receiver in the 6th round. Okay, well, let's check out the entire NFL, though. So after pick number 5, who went? It was DeAndre Swift, and then Dylan Moses, Derek Brown, Raekwon Davis, Justin Herbert. So Justin Herbert was the first quarterback to go, usually what happens. Tua was the second one, and then who got Joe Burrow? He went to the Saints at number 27. That happens all the time. It's insane. The Saints are just set up perfectly once again, just how it happens. That actually really sucks, though, because they are in our division, of course. That is going to be awful. The Saints are so good in Madden. And it makes sense, you know, they have a great team in real life as well, but their schemes are something else, man. They're so glitchy. The team now is an 81 overall, 81s across the board, offense and defense. I think this team is going to play better than the team did last season. I think we made some nice upgrades. Tua here at quarterback, I think is going to go off. Hopefully he does. Henry Ruggs is now the third receiver on this team. We have Anthony Costanzo starting at left tackle. Navon Donaldson is your name, right? Yeah, he's starting at right guard. Hopefully he can develop into something. If not, then we'll just have to replace him in this year's offseason. I think we can do that pretty easily, though. On defense here, we added a couple players like Kendall Fuller and HaHa Clinton-Dix. We also added Malik Collins in free agency. I just signed Jeremiah Tauchu in free agency just like a couple seconds ago. I think this team actually has some pretty good upside. We have some nice young players now after the draft and the offseason. I think we can do pretty well, but let's see what the record's all about here. All right, so what is the record here at week 9? We are 3-4, and the Saints are 1-6, and the Panthers are 7-0. Okay, not at all what I expected the division to look like. 5-3 though for the Falcons as well. Very strange. The overall went down. The overall defense is down to an 80. I don't know what happened. But Tua has superstar development along with 4 experience points. That is awesome. You know, Henry Ruggs has not had his development revealed yet. But Donaldson did, and he has star development, 2 experience points for him. He's going to be in the 70s then after this season. And then defensively, we have a couple experience points lounging around. Not too bad. But who has to come back to the team? I saw Chris Godwin, and he's a player I definitely want. One of our X factors on this offense. Of course, we want him back on the team. Lavonte David is getting old. I don't really want to give him a 4-year contract, but I am willing to at least like franchise tag him for another season. Anthony Costanzo, I did only sign for 1 year, and I'm okay to give him another 1-year contract. I don't really want him for 2. Actually, he wouldn't be that bad for 2. I think he could stay in the 80s, and he's not too bad. I'll have to see how he plays, though. If he's letting up like 20 sacks, then we're not going to negotiate with him. OJ Howard, though, I think I want back on the team. Malik Collins is probably pretty cheap. I'll take him back. And I think that is it for all of these guys. So let's just start with the people at the top who I know for sure that I want. And maybe the other guys I will come back to later. Okay, let's check it out. Are we in the playoffs here? Please. No, we are not. We just lost in week 17. We went 7-9. Falcons going 9-7, winning the division. The Panthers went 1-7-1 to end the year. That is horrible. But Tua had 4,200 yards, 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That is a phenomenal rookie season to have. Should be offensive rookie of the year. Joe Burrow may sneak in there, but we'll have to see, of course. Kareem Hunt was very good, though. 1,207 yards, 5.2 yards per carry, 14 rushing touchdowns. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin both over 1,000 yards, with Mike Evans getting over 1,100. Chris Godwin, 13 touchdown catches. Mike Evans gets 6, 92 catches for him in total. Kareem Hunt, 2 touchdowns. OJ Howard, 4. This offense looked like it was clicking. Our offensive line also played really well. Okay, Anthony Costanzo, I think I can re-sign for a couple more seasons. I'm okay with that. We have 4 players with over 100 tackles. 10 tackles for loss for Vita Vea, 10 for Malik Collins as well. 8 sacks for Shaq Barrett leads the team. Significant downgrade from last year, but it's hard to kind of keep that pace up once again. Kendall Fuller and Jamel Dean each lead the team with 3 picks. Devin White gets 2. Lavonte David, Carlton Davis, Mike Edwards, and Jordan Whitehead all get 1. We don't have any touchdowns here on defense. No safeties, but we have 2 blocked kicks from 1 player. It's Devin White, and then 1 for Kendall Beckwith. We have 4 forced fumbles, and then none of them were recovered. Okay, so we were 6th on offense. Didn't really drop too badly in that department. Defensively didn't seem too good. He had 27th, at least in terms of yards there. Josh Allen winning MVP. Okay, interesting. Anybody from the Buccaneers on this list? Yeah, Tua makes it at number 10. I will take that. Offensive player of the year here for the NFC is Matt Ryan. Tua, though, at number 4. We have Kareem Hunt in there at number 8 as well. Joe Burrow makes the list, but Tua is above him. I hope that means Tua wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year is Khalil Mack, but Devin White at number 7. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Tua. That is awesome. 3 players from our division are all in the top 3. That's actually pretty cool. KJ Hamler went to the Falcons. All right, well, we have Henry Ruggs in there at number 8 as well. Not too bad. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Kenneth Murray. We don't have anybody in that list. That's fine, though. The Bengals made the Super Bowl in Season 2. Okay, the Seahawks are here as well. Let's advance the week and see who wins this game. If it's the Bengals, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, the Seahawks are going to win 34-28. All right, let's check out the development traits on a few of these other players and the upgrades and whatnot. So Tua has 11 experience points. That is amazing. Maybe I should turn down my experience sliders just a tad. I feel like it's a little bit too many, but it's fine. I mean, he had a great season. I think he kind of deserves at least to have like 6 or 7. 11 seems a little bit too much, though. And then defensively, we have 4 for Devin White. Also, Kendall Fuller is up to superstar development. I didn't really take notice if anybody on offense went up in development. I don't think anybody did. But Henry Ruggs also has star development. That's okay. So, do we bring back Anthony Costanzo? I feel like we should. He's not bad. He's down to an 80. He only wants a 1-year contract as well. I'm comfortable giving him another 1-year contract. He's going to test out free agency. Don't tell me Lavonte David retired. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, so I'm going to try to get Anthony Costanzo in free agency rather than getting him on a franchise tag. I feel like we can get him for a little cheaper that way. I will take the risk, see how it ends up. But Lavonte David retired, didn't he? No, he's still here. He's down to an 81. Wait, why was he not shown there, though? Did I re-sign him? I did re-sign him. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I re-signed him for like 2 more years. That's fine. I thought I was going to wait, and I didn't think I'd actually get him for 2 more years. I thought he'd want more than that, but it's fine. Okay, we have $31.85 million to spend. Trent Williams, the top free agent. I think I'd rather have Trent Williams than Anthony Costanzo, which is a very obvious statement. But I feel like I'd rather have Laramie Tunsil over both of them. Keanu Neal is here. He could play free safety for us, potentially. I think Calais Campbell will be a player I go after for another season. William Jackson's available. He's normally not here. That's pretty cool. Samson Ebukam is actually really good, or Ebukam, however that's pronounced. I always forget. We did not get Laramie Tunsil. We did not get Ebukam. Okay, that's fun. I really wanted both of those guys, and they're just like, nah, we're good. Okay. I still can't even get Trent Williams, so I guess Anthony Costanzo it is. Maybe I should have just given Tunsil some more money. That's frustrating, but we will get one of these tackles, and it'll probably be Anthony Costanzo for another year. We got Anthony Costanzo, and we got Tack McKinley. I'm going to have McKinley play outside linebacker for us. I'm sure he can make that transition pretty easily. We still did not hear back yet from Calais Campbell. I went after him as well. Let's see if we're still the top team. We still are the top team. I'm actually going to bump this up a little bit, though. See if we can get him here in this final week. I also granted Vita Vea's 5th-year option. That's what that was there. And we did get Calais Campbell. Awesome. I think Vita Vea has the potential to be like in the 90s pretty soon. What's his overall now? It's an 84. He has 1 experience point. There's a chance if he does really well this next season. Also, I didn't notice this before, but Mike Edwards went up to star development. I think he had normal last season. That's pretty cool. But let's move Tack McKinley up to left outside linebacker and enter into this draft. Of course, this is an auto-generated class. This is what I'm going to start doing now in these realistic rebuilds, just having the first class real and the rest of them auto-generated. So this is also the first time I'm looking at this class to begin with. Who looks really good? A lot of good defensive ends. That's usually what happens. 2 very nice looking cornerbacks. We may be able to take one of those guys at some point. I do want an offensive lineman, though. This guy skipped the combine, supposed to go in the 3rd. He's a mid-first rounder. That guy looks so good. I think he's worth it. I definitely think that guy is worth it. Man, James Solano looks very good. Okay. I could use a tackle to play right tackle. I don't really need another guard, but I could use a center. So maybe moving one of these guys over to center would be the better move. Both of those guys look pretty good. No good centers in this class. I feel like there never are any good centers. That's just what usually happens. That's kind of annoying. Some very good defensive ends. I could take one of these guys, but then I don't really think he'd start, to be honest, because we just signed Tack McKinley. This 2nd round right end, though, oh, man. Lionel Campbell. He is definitely worth the pick if I can snag him in the 2nd. I don't think I'll be able to, though. Also, this defensive tackle looks so good. CJ McClellan? Okay, that guy's kind of nasty. Let's just simulate those straight to our draft pick. We pick at number 12, right around where we were last year. Matthew Knighton just won a left guard from Georgia. I think that school was. Who do we go with here, then? I really don't know. There's some pretty good corners in this class. They're actually all gone. That guy looks okay, but I don't think it's worth the pick right now. That guy also looks okay. Looks just as good, to be honest. This defensive tackle is still available, and this guy looks so good. I'm not exactly sure where he'd even start. There's his 4th round guy. Oh my. Okay. Rico Mack. I think I have to take that, man. Jeez. Okay, that guy's just caught me off guard. Alright, I think we go offensive lineman here then. Who do I go with? Wade Stewart looks alright. Mid-first rounder. There's this guy, though, in the 3rd. Who I feel like I could probably get in the 2nd. The thing is, though, do I even want anybody else right now? I could use another guard. I don't want to just only draft offensive linemen, though. I feel like it's kind of boring when that happens. It's hard to tell which one of these guys is going to be the best, though. It really is. I think it's going to be this left tackle. I think Wade Stewart's probably better than the rest. He's also very young. And he could play right tackle for us. And maybe we can get this guard later and have him play like center or not guard, sorry. Maybe get this tackle later, have him play guard or center or something. I don't really know. We don't really need a center. We really just need a right tackle. So I think because of that, I'm going to go with Wade Stewart. He's a 76 overall, supposed to go number 12. Picked him at number 12. That was a good draft pick then. Very balanced across the board. This dude's a beast. He's going to be our starting right tackle. We are now in the second round, and who should I go with? There's a quarterback who I'm not going to take. I just like pointing out the quarterbacks. I don't know why. I might go another left tackle, which is very stupid, but he could play guard for us. I know it's not the most realistic move in the world, but I mean, it does happen. It's not absolutely uncommon. Like, it's not like it never happens that players, you know, switch positions once they get drafted. I think I'm going to go with him then. James Solano. He can probably start at right guard, even though we did just draft the left or right guard last year. I think we actually drafted a left guard and moved him over. But this guy's probably way better. James Solano. The only other player I would really want in this class is this guy, who I can probably get in the 3rd round. He's supposed to go early 4th round. And I feel like he won't actually be available in the 3rd. I'm going to take the risk on him, though, because we really don't need him. I think I would use the tackle a little more. Honestly, I don't think I could go wrong with either of these guys. I really don't. I feel like they're both going to have normal, though. So I don't really think it matters. But James Solano, he's on the team. 76 with normal. I was right. He does have normal, but he's ranked number 11. Looks honestly like identical to the dude we just drafted. He just only has normal development. Also very similar sizes. Okay. That's not a bad draft pick either, and if we can land this defensive lineman, this will be a very, very good draft. I really hope this guy is still available, but like I said, I really don't expect him to have more than normal development. He is still here. Rico Mack, welcome to the squad. 76, and he actually has hidden. Okay, I'm glad I was able to take him then. I think we got the 10, 11, and 12 players, but in the reverse order. I think we picked the 12th first, and the 11th second, and now the 10th, but they're all like the same overall. But this guy is so good. He definitely has to start somewhere. I guess we start him over, what, Tack McKinley, even though we just signed Tack McKinley. Yeah, this guy has to start. This guy absolutely has to start. There's no way we don't start that man. I mean, like, he could have Superstar or X Factor or something, and if I don't start him, I'll look like an idiot. I'm not going to check out his development either, because that's just boring. I'm just going to take Brandon Fisk here. Why not? Supposed to go late 1st rounder. He's probably alright. 70 overall with normal. Yeah, this draft has been amazing. I'm going to sim to the end now. That's really funny to me, though. We just took 3 tackles in this class, but it's okay. I mean, only 2 of them have a potential to start. One of them for sure. The other one, I'll probably end up starting him. I think it would be stupid if I didn't. But let's go over the draft recap. Let's see what the computer snagged for me after we took that right tackle there. Probably no one notable, but you never know. Let's check it out. We got a 57, 54, 55. They really killed that draft at the end. Alright, well, who is the top-ranked player in this class? It was probably that guy. An 81 overall? Oh, my. Hidden development, 84 speed, 89 acceleration. Yeah, this class for defensive ends looked so nice. But I really was not in need of one, and we still landed a pretty good guy. Only star development, but still, 81 overall. That's ridiculous. He could have normal development, and that pick would still be pretty good. Because, obviously, a lot of potential to go up in development this year. Javonte Haywood looks very good. Keenan Hamilton also looks good. Lionel Campbell. This is the guy I was looking at before who looked nice. Hidden development for this player. Let's see what his overall is, though. Not overall. Let's see what his development is. It is just star. Okay, so maybe we got some guy who has X Factor. I don't know. That'd be really cool if our defensive end does. I think I do have to start him, though. I'd feel so bad if I didn't. This team is actually looking super nice right now. It's an 84 overall, 88 offense, 81 defense. And Anthony Costanzo is starting at left tackle. I don't know why it says he's playing right tackle. I will switch that before the season begins, though. But I really do like the team. Tua's up to an 84. I should also note that I moved my experience sliders down to 140. They're usually at 160. Seemed a little bit too much, though, after that first season. But, of course, we still have the X-Factor duo at wide receiver. Kareem Hunt is still here. Henry Ruggs, the number 3. The offensive line got better with the addition of Stewart and Solano. OJ Howard is still a tight end. And then defensively, I said I'd start this guy at outside linebacker. Actually, I don't know if I explicitly said that. But looking at his stats a little bit, I think he could probably play at right end. I mean, he's a bit undersized, being 255 pounds at an interior D-line spot, but he is still rushing off the edge for us. He is our rush right end, I believe. But just looking at the stats here, I mean, he does have really good strength, so I feel like he's strong enough for it. And he does fit the scheme down here, so I didn't feel like moving him. I think he should do fine there. I don't really think the size will matter all that much in simulation. But that is the team. Also, Malik Collins will be the backup defensive tackle. That should be fine. That is the team. I think this team can make the playoffs, but let's see what happens here, man. I moved Malik Collins to backup defensive tackle, and the overall went up to an 86. That's pretty cool. We have an 84 defense now. So here at week 9, Mike Evans is frustrated. That's fun. But the team is 3-4. Please play better. Like, come on, this team's not bad. 5-2 for the Saints, 5-3 for the Panthers, 3-1 for the Falcons. Can I get some luck, please? This team is definitely not bad, but let's see some development traits. The offensive lineman only has star, the right tackle does. That kind of sucks. I don't think anybody else is revealed, though, on offense. Defensively, this defensive end has star. Come on, I've been getting so unlucky with my drafts lately. I feel like I used up all my luck earlier in the season when I had like a superstar X Factor almost every single draft. It's kind of frustrating. But who do we have to bring back to the team? Calais Campbell is the top guy. He is very good, but I don't really want him back on the team. Same thing goes with Anthony Costanzo. Ryan Jensen, I feel like, falls into that category as well. He's up at 30. I don't know if I'm going to bring him back to the team. But Carlton Davis, I do want. That's actually it, I think. So we can have a lot of money to spend in free agency this next year. This could be really nice for us. But Carlton Davis needs a better salary because he's selfish. No, I'm joking. But we'll try to get him back next week. So, of course, once again, we did not make the playoffs. We finished 6-10. Dude, this team is not bad. It's an 86 overall. Why is the record always so poor? 10-6 for the Panthers, 9-7 for the Saints, 5-10-1 for the Falcons at the bottom. All right. Well, Tua had 4,324 yards, 38 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Again, not a bad season, a very good season. Kareem Hunt was solid once again, about 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Chris Godwin, 15 receiving touchdowns, 1,226 yards. Mike Evans, a bit of a down year, almost 1,000 yards, though. O.J. Howard, 800 yards, 12 touchdowns. He had a great season. This team is not bad. I don't understand. The offensive line blocked fairly well. Nobody letting up more than 7 sacks, which is what you like to see. 121 tackles for Devin White leads the team. We have 16 tackles for loss for Calais Campbell, who just somehow gets 14.5 sacks. That's nuts. 9.5 for Shaq Barrett, 6 for Vita Vea and Rico Mack. We have 3 picks for Kendall Fuller, 2 for Mike Edwards, 1 for HaHa Clinton-Dix, Jamel Dean, Tack McKinley, Carlton Davis, Sean Bunting, and Jordan Whitehead. We don't have any defensive touch safeties, and we don't have any blocked kicks, but forced fumbles, we have 1, and it was recovered by Levante David. Top 10 on offense. Once again, the defense is probably just tragic. It's 29th. Okay. I don't know what to do about this, man. I don't think this team's bad at all. Tua, though, is number 4 for MVP. That's pretty cool. Nobody else from our team. Offensive Player of the Year is Russell Wilson. Tua, though, at number 2. Defensive Player of the Year, Layton Vander is going to win that one. Calais Campbell, though, at number 6. He had a great season. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Bradley McAllister. My fault. Perry Cannon, but Rico Mack at number 5. Alright, well, of course we're going another season. Hopefully we can sign some good free agents and draft well once again. The Bears and the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl. It still pisses me off that this team is not playing well. I don't really understand it. But the Ravens are going to win 24-14. Let's check out some development trade upgrades. We should have a couple. Maybe Tua is up to X Factor? He actually is up to X Factor with 3 more experience points. That is awesome to see. Okay. And then defensively, I don't think anything changed. Unless I'm just missing something. I don't think I'm missing something, though. Ryan Jensen's down to a 76. That's really not that bad. How much money do we have? $24.5 million. I don't want back Anthony Costanzo. I'll give him this offer. It's only $6 million. Okay, he's going to test out free agency. I'm not going to franchise tag him. I can probably get a better center in free agency. So let's hop into the first session of free agency. Let's see who's available. I'm sure Layton Vander is like the top guy. But Layton Vander is available. I could go after him, move him to middle linebacker. That's like my normal move, and I think I may do that again. And Nwosu wouldn't be a bad pass rusher for us, but we do have Tack McKinley. I could go after Brian Bulaga, keep him at right, and then move Stewart back to left since that's what he was in college. Alright, so here we are at pick number 5, and I think the pick is going to be Cliff Godwin. Looks like one of the best players in this entire class. He is going to, I think, be at least like top 5 in the class. Ridiculous combine, great top 3 skills. Welcome to the team. He's a 77 overall hidden development trait. Ranked number 5, we took him exactly when he was supposed to go. Dude looks phenomenal. 88 strength, 78 blocks, 83 power moves, 76 speed. Hopefully we finally have somebody who doesn't just have star development. I feel like that's been like recently I just have been pretty unlucky with some of my drafts lately. But I think here I'm going to go Denard Verdon. I do need an offensive lineman, and he looks like by far the best player available. Yeah, let's take this guy. He looks disgustingly good. 79 overall hidden development trait. This dude was ranked number 1, and we took him at number 37. My God, this dude's a freak. Only thing he could use an improvement on is run block finesse. Everything else looks pretty good. It's at least in the green. And even that wasn't even that low. My lord. Okay, I've been drafting really well overall wise in all of these drafts so far. The record's just not reflecting it, and it's so annoying. I don't know why this keeps happening. Like, why are my teams just not playing as well as they should? I can use somebody to play center, so we're just going to be very boring and go with another one. Casey Young, welcome to the team. 70 overall, normal. Okay, so this is kind of getting a bit unrealistic with the amount of position changing I am doing, because a lot of these offensive linemen will be switching up their positions, but I kind of needed to do that. Like, I'm not just going to take a center who is awful just because he's a center. You know, like, that's just kind of stupid to me. I just don't want to do that. I think I'm going to go with this guy. This guy actually looks pretty decent. The B+ pursuit has me, so let's go with him. 65 overall, not a poor draft pick really at all. We took him, what, 3 picks earlier than he was supposed to go. Certainly not a reach. Let's simulate to the end of the draft. What kind of studs did the computer draft for me? I'd be surprised if they took anybody like in the 60s. Yeah, 3 players in the 50s. Okay, so we got the first ranked player in the class, but was anybody tied with him? I believe he was a 79. Now we got the true first ranked player in the class in the 2nd round. This guy went also in the 2nd round, and he's a 78. This draft was unbelievable for like the 2nd round players. Another 2nd rounder, 77 overall. Jeez, man, this is a really good draft class. We actually got some of the better players in it, which is awesome to see. Hopefully, though, this results in some winning seasons, man. I don't want to go another season after this one, but I will if I have to. Some of these realistic rebuilds are tedious to do, man, I'm telling you. The computer drafted me a 54 overall center who has hidden development trait. That is so funny to me. Okay, I could move this guy to center. He doesn't look too bad, but I may as well... Should I do that? Yeah, I'm going to do that, actually. He's the best center we have. So, Navon Donaldson, or the best backup offensive lineman we have, he will be playing center for us. This will be the team heading into, what now, the 4th season or something like that? I may actually have to go another one. I probably will after this. I'm sorry if this video is lengthy, but a few of you guys have been asking for longer rebuilds, so here you go. Maybe we should do a scheme change, okay? The offense has been fine. I'm very content with Tennessee's offense. If you guys don't know, that's the offense I've been running in my past few rebuilds, and it definitely seems to be working really well. I usually like to go Houston for 3-4 defenses, but let's try Denver this time instead. Denver has a pretty good 3-4 defense typically as well. We're going to go with Denver's defense. Hopefully that makes some sort of a difference. But here's a look at the offense. It's still so good. The offense has been playing out of their minds. And I hope they can do that here once again. Of course, Donaldson, I just showed you, is moving to center. The left tackle we just drafted, of course, is playing left tackle. The offensive line looks fine. The rest of the offense should be just as fine, honestly. And then defensively, Layton Vander moved to middle linebacker number 1. Levante David's the number 3 now, which is okay. I mean, he's just going to be there to mentor the young guys. And then on the defensive line, we have Godwin here, and then Mack, of course. I think, yeah, he's starting at right end. What happened? How did that get switched? I don't know, but I still think I want this guy rushing off the edge. He played pretty well doing that last year. Godwin starting at right end as well. Well, he fits the scheme, so I don't really want to change his position then. Let's move Godwin to left end. Maybe he'll fit the scheme over there. He does fit the scheme over there, but for some reason he's still playing right end. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I'll make sure the switch is final when or before we simulate. And then specialist, I've never really shown this off, but let me do that quickly now. I actually do have to switch one thing, and I want Mack being the rush right end. Hold on, I don't know why this looks so weird now. Let me go ahead and change everything, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I think everything should look fine now, and I kind of lied before. I think I said that that Mack guy was going to be the rush right end. I'm pretty sure he's the rush left end. Yeah, he's starting at rush left end, and then Shaq Barrett is the rush right end. So technically, Zach McKinley's not really doing anything, but that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. We're going to work with it. I think this is the best the team is going to be. And I will see you at the mid-season mark, because I'll probably still have to go there and potentially bring back some players. Are we having a good season? Tell me we are. 3-5. What is wrong with this team, man? I really have no clue. It's not bad at all, dude. Come on. The offense is playing well. I'm not trying to mess with that. I guess it is the defense, and they're not even bad. The defense on this team is very solid. I don't know what more I could do. It's an 85 overall. I don't think this is a bad team. I really don't. Maybe this is the year the offense is just not performing well. I don't know. But anyway, Godwin has only star development, which kind of sucks. What else did we reveal? Okay, the left tackle, again, has star development. Dude, what is going on? Why do I keep drafting stars? Just keeps happening. But alright, this is a very frustrating rebuild so far. Hopefully you guys are still able to enjoy this one. This could definitely be one I reload later. We're going to spend our coach experience. Probably spend my experience points as well. For the defensive back upgrade. I'll probably spend my XP points. That's so redundant. XP points, whatever. I'll probably spend those with the team. Upgrade the players. Just try to make them as good as possible. Heading into, hopefully, the playoffs if we can have a good second half of the season. But who do we have to bring back to the team first? I know Vita Vea is here, obviously. He's the top guy. Devin White, Tack McKinley, Jamel Dean, Levante David, Sean Bunting. We have Mason Rudolph as our backup. Okay. Pretty good players here. Definitely some pretty good players here. But Vita Vea and Devin White, I think, are the only two I 100% want. I do kind of want to splurge in free agency a little bit. Just because I think this team needs it. I don't really know what else to do. I've been trying to build with the players on the team already. And trying not to sign anybody absolutely massive. I mean, Layton Vander was very good, of course. But we're going to try to just change this team around a ton heading into free agency here. So I'm not going to spend any more money there. Let's go to the playoffs. Of course, I'll let you guys know if we are in it. Surprise, surprise, we're not in the playoffs. This team is not a 5-11 team. Please tell me how that's even possible, man. Are the Buccaneers just cursed in the game? I really don't know what else to do. Honestly, like, this team is good. And I feel like most of you can agree with me, but please let me know, if you actually know, why this team is performing badly. I'm totally down for some criticism if I'm doing something just horribly wrong. But I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've been doing rebuilds for a pretty long time. I mean, I feel like I'd be able to catch myself if I was doing something really stupid, but I don't think I am. Kareem Hunt, just under 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. I didn't really talk about Tua's season, but he went off again, 31 touchdowns, 11 picks, 4,200 yards. Having a great career for us right now. Chris Godwin is dominating, man. 100 catches, 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 7 touchdowns. OJ Howard, 6. Let me know also if you guys do rebuilds out there. Let me know if you have trouble with the Buccaneers. I feel like I've had trouble with them a lot lately, and I don't know why. The offensive line isn't blocking all that well, so maybe since they're not pass blocking well, maybe they're also not run blocking too well, and that's why Kareem Hunt was pretty low, but he had 4.8 yards per carry. I mean, he had a good season. Just need to get him a bit more carries, I guess. Defensively, 129 tackles for the newly acquired Layton Vander, 13 tackles for loss for Shaq Barrett and Cliff Godwin, 7.5 sacks for Barrett, 7-4 Rico Mack. Maybe we're going to change the defense to a 4-3. In this upcoming season, because like I just need to do something. I want to try to do something to get this team over the hump of being awful, and I really don't know what I can do. I'm going to do my best to try to change this team some more, but a couple forced fumbles. I think only one of those is going to be recovered. Yeah, okay. But we were 10th again on offense. I mean, this offense is just constantly top 10. And then the defense is constantly like bottom 3. It's so frustrating, or bottom 4. Russell Wilson wins his MVP. That's pretty cool. 15-1 for the Cowboys. I mean, the Ravens went 5-11. They probably have a better overall than we do, which makes no sense. But Tua at number 10. I don't get simulations sometimes in this game, man. I get it. Games are not won on paper. Very obviously, games are not won on paper. But still, I don't know. It's just I've seen such worse teams do so much better, and it makes no sense to me. But you know, Tua at number 5 there for Offensive Player of the Year. Luke Kuechly wins Defensive Player of the Year, but Layton Vander Esch at number 5. The Offensive Rookie of the Year is Mike Simpson. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Dominique Carter, but Cliff Godwin at number 3. Also kind of annoying we don't have any like crazy superstars after the draft, but it's okay. Let's head into the Super Bowl week. I'm not trying to just constantly complain. I'm sorry if I'm coming off that way, but Madden gets to me sometimes, man. It really does. It's kind of frustrating trying to do these rebuilds so often, man. If you do them as often, I mean, I don't do them like crazy often, but if you do them even relatively often, you will definitely get frustrated. But the Texans and the Packers in the Super Bowl 57. This is going to be like one of my longest rebuilds. Hope you guys don't care. But the winner is going to be the Packers by a ton. 28-7 is that score. Let's see if anybody went up in development trait. Chris Godwin has been so unbelievably good. He's going to go up to a 94 overall, which is so nice. I'm surprised Kareem Hunt hasn't gotten a development trait increase throughout all of this. And then defensively, Ronnie Harrison's up to X Factor, as is Kendall Fuller. Down for that. Okay, Shaq Barrett's regressing. He should still be fine for another season, though. Okay, well, let's hop into free agency. I don't think anybody else went up in development. And see if we can grab just some dominant, like, 95-plus overall player. They should be here. They definitely should. So let's see who is available. And nobody's available. Are you kidding me? Ryan Kelly is the top free agent. I may as well sign him. Devin Singletary's here. He's not bad at all, but this is a very underwhelming free agency class. That is not very fun at all. Okay, I went after 2 players. One of them was Ryan Kelly, as I kind of alluded to. The other one was Avery Williamson. He accepted. Kelly did not. It's not the biggest deal if we didn't get Ryan Kelly, to be honest. He wouldn't have been that big of an upgrade. I think it was like 11 overall points, which is pretty big, but our center didn't play poorly last year. But the reason why I went after Avery Williamson is because I will be shifting to a 4-3 defense. So let's just make that shift now. So I almost said Chris Godwin. Wow. So Cliff Godwin, very similar names, is going to slide it to defensive tackle, and then Mack and Barrett will be the edge rushers. Vander will probably be an outside linebacker, Devin White the middle, and then Avery Williamson the other outside linebacker. I can get behind that. Maybe finally we can make it into the playoffs, but I still even doubt it. This is going to be a very frustrating rebuild. Alright, so once again, we're entering the draft, and we're going to have like a top 10 draft pick here again. Yeah, number 5. Let's take a look at the class, though. I can use a good bit, but this guy looks really good. Emmanuel Knox. Wow. Okay, I'm not going to take him, but he looks great. Also, Wes Tracy looks phenomenal as well. That's pretty cool. But what do I need? I could use a cornerback, and Diamond Cotton looks like something. He definitely looks like something, I can tell you that much. Jerome Hurst also looks very good. Super fast for him, man. Another corner down here who looks pretty solid. Frederick Andrews. Supposed to go early first round. Okay, so I don't really think I'm going to trade up for a corner. They both look very good. Any other corners later who I could potentially get? I don't really see any good prospects later. But both of these guys look almost equally as good. The reason I'm saying that is because they're both early first round talent. That usually means they're both going to go within like the top 5, or are both projected to go within the top 5. So I imagine then their overalls are probably pretty similar. This guy probably also won the Heisman. I didn't look. But the fact that his stats are kind of messed up there makes me believe he won the Heisman. Alright, pretty good looking class. This guy actually looks solid as well. Terrell Dahlman, very fast linebacker. Pretty small, but it's okay. He could probably make it work. This defensive tackle looks unbelievable. Nick Roach, that's a player I'm interested in. My lord. I don't think I'll be able to take him, but just in case he's there in the second round, I will definitely be taking him. Pretty good right tackle is a pretty good looking right guard later. Probably alright. This center apparently isn't good, which is kind of surprising. This left guard looks pretty good. William Blanton, okay. Like I said, that wide receiver looks pretty nice. Probably some good running backs. A power back down there maybe is decent. Let's start simulating, though. Maybe actually we'll trade up, because that first cornerback looks a lot better. I don't really think he's going to be, like, massively better, but he just looks that way, so I feel like I should probably trade up for him if I need to. Does this team need cornerback? They probably do need cornerback. It's very stupidly unrealistic to trade up to number 1, so I will simulate probably right past this guy. If it were a fantasy-style rebuild, I would do it, but the Falcons do not take him, actually. The Lions. I have picked number 5, so I'm not moving up all that far. Do the Lions need a corner? They may not, actually. They probably will take one. I feel like they should take one. I might try to trade up to pick number 2. So let's give him... What should we give him? Let's give him pick number 5, of course. Quarterback, I don't really have a backup quarterback I could give. I do have a right tackle who's not horrible. That guy's pretty decent. And then defensive tackle, I can give you Malik Collins. That's pretty good value for them. They're getting 2 starting caliber players, and they're only moving back 3 spots. I think that's actually pretty decent value. So I pick number 2 here. We will be going cornerback, and I'm going to go with the better looking one just based on his top 3 skills. Diamond Cotton. I'm kind of curious how much faster he is or slower that he is than the other guy. 4.43 speed for him. 4.39 speed. They're pretty similar in that department then. So Diamond Cotton out of I almost said Ohio State. Out of Iowa State. Welcome to the squad. 77 overall hidden development trait. Ranked number 3. Took him at 2. Obviously we reached massively. 92 speed, 89 acceleration, 85 agility. Good size. Good speed for his size. He should be an immediate starter for us. And I'm excited to see where that other corner goes because I'm curious what he's all about. I will check him out after the draft, of course. Also, that defensive tackle may actually end up being like the best player in the class. That guy looked unbelievably good. I doubt he's still available, but of course I will be checking. He is not. Okay. Who do we go with here then? 3rd round middle linebacker looks okay. Supposed to go late 2nd. We would be reaching a tad bit for him then. But I still think it's worth it. I'll get a good backup middle. It's usually a pretty good thing to do. So Kareem Francois, 68 overall, only normal development. That was definitely a reach, but I wanted to get at least a decent backup middle linebacker. I will sim to the end of the draft now, though. Another reason I made that pick, though, is because there isn't really much more I need on this team. So this is gonna be a very interesting final season. If we don't make the playoffs here again, I could barely even call this a rebuild. I may just have to come back to it very soon, because I feel like you guys are gonna hate this one. But I don't think this one even went that badly. Like, I mean, I'm not sure what else I could have done, honestly. I really don't know. Sorry to keep bringing that up. I should probably stop. It's probably going to be very repetitive in the video. But who is ranked number 1 in the class? What? An 82? I don't think I've ever seen an 82 before in my life in this game. Holy crap. 90 speed, 89 acceleration, 93 agility. He doesn't do anything, any one thing. Actually, he catches super well. My lord. 83 catching, 82 short route running. Okay. As a runner, he's nothing special. At least it doesn't seem that way. Good agility, of course, but, you know, carrying, ball carry, vision, juke move, all pretty average. But an 82 overall, what is his development trait? Star. Okay, if it was Superstar or X Factor, easily one of the best running backs I've ever seen. He could go up in development so well. Here's this other corner. He's a 77. We also got a 77, of course. Hidden development trait for this man. Worse coverage ability, but he's much faster, much shiftier. Let's see what his development trait is, though. Superstar. We're going to get the star, aren't we? I already know it. We're going to get the star. We definitely will. So the Lions actually played that super well, then. If this turns out that I got the star, and they got the superstar, they got 2 more starting caliber players, along with the better cornerback. So they just won that trade. Hopefully our guy has at least superstar. Even if that's the case, they're pretty much the same then. So, like, it was a pretty pointless trade-up. But I just wanted to trade up to take him because his stats looked a lot better. But since they both said they were supposed to go early first round, I didn't think they actually would be that much better. But let me fix the team quick and I'll go over it. So once again, this team is in the upper 80s, but I feel like once again they will disappoint. I don't have a good feeling about this season, even though I think this team is perfectly fine. But here is the offense. Nothing really changed at all, but a couple of these guys are developing so well. Like let's take a look at Chris Godwin's stats, okay? 98 catching, 86 short, 91 medium, 94 deep. Probably have to go into short a little bit more since he is still the slot receiver. 93 speed, though. He's got a couple of speed upgrades across the course of the rebuild. I think Henry Ruggs has as well. Pretty sure he's up to 97 speed now. He looks insane. 89 deep route running as well. Let's check out Tua's stats. He started off as a 73, but he's up to an 89. His accuracy stats are looking so nice. Good medium accuracy. Pretty good speed for him as well, of course. Mike Evans is still so good. So, you know, the team is good. The team's definitely good. And then here is a look at the defense. Newly acquired Jalen Mills starting at free safety. We are now in a 4-3 defense. Shaq Barrett and Mack are the defensive ends, or the edge rushers. Vita Vea, Godwin, the defensive tackles, and then that's a look at the linebackers. So I think this team has a lot of potential, possibly the most potential out of them all. I think this is the best team we've had so far. But let's start advancing. Hopefully the change in defensive scheme can actually do something. But I'll see you at the end of the year. I really hope we don't go like 5 straight seasons without making the playoffs. That would be so unfortunate. Yeah, okay. I think we just had to make the move to a 4-3. Okay, dude, I don't even have words for this anymore. Not even sure what that noise was. That's one of the weirdest noises I've ever made. But what's the record? 11-4-1. Finally, we do something. 8-8 for the Falcons, 7-9 for the Panthers, 6-10 for the Saints. I hate this game. Oh my Tua. Okay. 4,783 yards, 43 touchdowns, but most importantly, he threw 4 interceptions all season. If this is not MVP, I am rioting. Outside, I'll just run straight outside and riot because that should 100% be MVP. That's a ridiculous season. Kareem Hunt was very good here once again. He's been so good as well. He's just fantastic in Madden. 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's so consistent. It's unreal. Chris Godwin, 105 catches, 1,574 yards, and 15 touchdowns. That season makes Mike Evans' season look awful, but Mike Evans still almost had 100 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I mean, like, that's a fantastic year, but Chris Godwin was just unbelievable on a complete other level. He has to be the best wide receiver. O.J. Howard as well, probably the best tight end this past year. 14 receiving touchdowns. Ridiculous red zone threat, I'd imagine. 894 yards, 80 touchdowns. Whoa, no, 80 catches. That's what I meant to say. Offensive line still doing their thing. I mean, I'll take it. 127 tackles for Devin White. 16 tackles for loss for Rico Mack, but I see one pretty nice number, 15.5 sacks for Shaq Barrett, 9 for Cliff Godwin, 7.5 for Rico Mack, so very good seasons there. I guess we really did just need to switch to a 4-3. I wish I would have done that a little bit sooner. But Diamond Cotton, the rookie corner with 4 picks. If you can have like superstar dev, this could be insane. 2 for Layton, Vander and Carlton Davis, 1 for Devin White, Avery Williamson, Kendall Fuller, Jalen Mills, Ronnie Harrison, and Abram Lyons. We had a ton of interceptions. At least I should say a ton of players getting involved with an interception. No touchdowns, 2 safeties, Rico Mack and Vita Vea. No blocked kicks, forced fumbles, we have 1, and it was recovered by himself. Alright, so we were first on offense. Finally that happened. And then probably like top 15 at least on defense, right? 20th. I guess not. Maybe the change didn't even do anything. But Tua did win MVP. Figured it would happen eventually. That was a stupid year, though. Again, Tua wins Offensive Player of the Year. That is awesome to see. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Roquan Smith. Shaq Barrett, though, at number 6. I also feel like, though, at Offensive Player of the Year, I feel like Chris Godwin should be up here, but it's okay. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Wes Tracy. Don't have any rookies there, I don't think. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to that other cornerback. Are you joking? Diamond Cotton at number 3. That just pisses me off, man. Mike Rhodes at number 6. I don't even know who that is. Best quarterback goes to Tua, of course. Best running back is going to Aaron Jones. Dude's a beast as well. Kareem Hunt at number 6. Best wide receiver, Chris Godwin, of course. Mike Evans at number 8. Unbelievable duo there. Best offensive lineman, David Bakhtiari, but Ali Marpet at number 3. Best defensive lineman is Shaq Barrett. That's cool to see. Rico Mack at number 9. Best linebacker is Khalil Mack. His cousin. Very clearly his cousin. Best defensive back, of course, is Frederick Andrews. My God, man. Diamond Cotton at number 5. Best kicker, Joey O'Connell. Ian Richburg, the random free agent we signed at number 8. I will take that. But let's see the development of this cornerback. I'm very interested in that. Let me actually simulate first. Let's see who we have to play in the divisional round before I get into that. We have to take on the Giants. Okay, so we'll hop into this game. I'll probably play a little bit of it as well, just in case we end up losing this one. I want to get some footage in the video of me playing. But the overalls are looking so nice on the offense, man. Chris Godwin's up to a 96. He's unbelievable. This guy has X Factor. Are you kidding me? Finally, I've drafted another X Factor. It took me so long. Okay, we definitely got the better cornerback then. Even though that corner is probably going to go up to X Factor this year, it still is pretty debatable. But I'm just saying, if that was ever a cornerback class with those two being like superstars and X Factors like the first season, that's insane. That's a crazy cornerback class, man. Even if it's just 2 of them, that makes up for the rest of the horrible guys. That's unbelievable. Let's just go the wide receiver boost. Why not? I got all the other important boosts pretty much, except for like running back and tight end. But let's spend these experience points. I'm just going to auto upgrade the players. That's not really that big of a deal. Kareem Francois, that middle linebacker we drafted, went up 4 overall points. Not too bad. But now, what is the overall of the Giants? They're an 82. We are an 89. I mean, come on. We have to win this game. If we're like clearly crushing them, I probably won't hop in. I like to reserve it for the Super Bowl. But if we are losing, I will hop in and try to win the game for us because I'm trying to do something in this video that's interesting. Because otherwise, you would have just watched me miss out on the playoffs like 4 years in a row and then randomly get in because I changed the defense. Yeah, okay, we're kind of just getting crushed here. That's fun. Why do we look so strange? What is going on? Okay, it changed back. That was really weird. But yeah, we're just getting destroyed right now. That's not what I like to see. See if we can do anything here. I think Henry Ruggs may be open. He won't be. Okay. Tua's a lefty. I forgot about that. It feels kind of weird using a left-handed quarterback in this game. But we will make this comeback, okay, boys? Trust me. It's 4th down and 10. Let's throw Chris Godwin on a slant and maybe look for him to pick up this first down. Chris Godwin catch that. He will catch it. Is his X Factor ability activated? I don't think it is. I'm going to continue. Actually, I'm going to start hurrying up, I should say. I don't think it is activated, but I will be looking to throw towards him a lot. That's going to be holding. That sucks because that's a big completion. That got picked off. I'm an idiot. I didn't think he'd read it that well. Alright, maybe we did lose this game. The game's definitely not over. There's about 6 minutes left, and we have the ball back now. That's cool. Oh, Henry Ruggs is wide open. Catch that in stride. You didn't really. Wish that throw was led a bit more upfield, but that's fine. You know, Ruggs definitely has the speed to break away with that one, but it's fine. That's a good throw there by Tua, though. To OJ Howard. Let's continue the hurry up, man. We can definitely still do this. A is going to be open. Is this going to be for a touchdown? I don't think it will be. That's Cameron Bright. He feels so slow now, but we're at the 5-yard line. Let's keep her going, man. Let's get a touchdown on this drive. I feel like we can do it. No, we can't. I threw it directly to that guy. I'm an absolute moron. I thought I could squeeze that one in there. I saw greener the whole way. I thought that Chris Godwin was going to... God, my God, dude. Okay, we lost the game. I was so much better probably just having the computer finish the game even though they were getting crushed. That sucks. I threw 2 interceptions that were very unnecessary. What was I even doing, man? Both of those were completely on me. I thought I could squeeze that last pass in there. I saw a small bit of space that I wanted to throw it to, but he didn't. Maybe I just threw it a little bit too early. I don't know. That's so annoying, but that's going to be the video. I'm so sorry to end it this way, but thank you guys so much for watching this one. I'm sure there's not even many of you guys left at this point, so maybe not many of you guys even saw me make those stupid mistakes. But actually, hold on. Before I fully outro, let's check out the development trade upgrades, because I think I saw a couple there on defense while I was playing that game, but I'll let you guys know who went up in development, because it is always interesting to see that. Wait, no. What do I mean? I saw some on defense. For some reason, I thought that was the Super Bowl. I'm an absolute moron. But let's sim to the Super Bowl. You can only see those in the Super Bowl week. That's just on me. I'm stupid. But the Seahawks again in the Super Bowl, this time with the Broncos facing off against them. Of course, a rematch of a previous Super Bowl. But let's see these upgrade points now. And the development upgrades. Okay, so nobody on the offense went up in development. O.J. Howard certainly should have. That's very confusing to me. Defensively, Mac went up to Superstar. Shaq Barrett's up to X Factor. This team is looking very nice, but sadly, they only made the Super Bowl, or they only made the playoffs one season. Kind of annoying. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.